Hey y'all, it's the girl Lady J, and welcome back to my channel that's in the lounge room where I give you female rap commentary as well as a little bit of urban news tea. So before I get into the video, you already know what I'm gonna say. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me so you can like this video, and then hit that subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you know you don't ever miss a beat of the tea of the updates I got for you. And then go ahead and launch with me on Instagram and Twitter at Lady J Lounge Room. Now let's get into the tea. So last night was the AMAs, and Twitter was in a frenzy, child, because Doja Cat, who is extremely talented, by the way, won favorite female R&B artist and favorite R&B album. Now, I spoke on these two nominations for Doja a couple of weeks ago, and I expressed how I don't feel Doja is R&B. They made room for Erica Banks and Coi Leray in the hip-hop category, but not Doja, when she is more of hip-hop than R&B. And if we being technical, Doja's style is more so like a pop rap, like how Nicki was in her Pink Friday Roman Reloaded era. So if anything, she should have been under pop and R&B. I don't know why or where they get off classifying this woman as R&B artist. Like, she is talented for sure, don't get me wrong, but not in the R&B category, especially when actual R&B artists were nominated, such as Jasmine Sullivan, her, SZA, and Janae. Those women put out actual R&B music and albums, and they chose the only one who was so far left from R&B, and this was probably a slap in the face to these other women, but this definitely had Twitter in a frenzy. So many Twitter users were confused on why Doja was not only nominated and won these two categories, but more importantly, who chose her to be nominated for these categories and why, because the math ain't mathing. Many users felt like Jasmine should have won this category easily, which I must say Jasmine did her thing with her album this year, and I must agree with Twitter on this one. I'm surprised Summer Walker wasn't nominated in this category for Fave R&B Artist, because she has been doing her thing for the past couple of years as well as this year. Now, we all know Doja is extremely talented, but don't put this girl in a lane that she doesn't really drive in. But on the flip side, this goes to just show how Doja's versatility is so great, because she does so many different genres. But if we are talking about Planet Her, which was the album they were referring to at the AMAs, then we definitely shouldn't be calling it an R&B album. And that's probably why Doja has not responded or acknowledged to winning or being nominated for these two categories, because she knew it was BS. So, moving on to Saweetie, the other night she had an SNL performance, and Twitter had a lot to say. And before I get into this, let me just tell you Icy Girl, Icy Gang fans that be all up in my comments trying to comfort me because I critique Saweetie. So this is a female rap channel where I give my emphasis on my opinion and commentary. So if you don't like it, you can move on. Just because someone does not love what you love and doesn't agree with what you agree with, it doesn't make them a hater. It makes them an individual. Now, back to Saweetie. As beautiful and successful as she is, and as much as she improved her stage presence, I personally felt, based on what I watched, my good sis, she needs to go back to artist boot camp to work on breath control and choreography. But that's just me, okay? You let me know your thoughts. Now, Twitter was not here for Saweetie's performance, as she was trending after the performance, and the comments were more so critiquing her than being in her favor. So, Saweetie fans, just know this is a majority opinion. People honestly feel like she can do better with her performances, which I believe with practice and good coaching, she can, because sis had basic choreography and was completely out of breath. And she stumbled up on a couple of words, which brings me to another point. I don't know why the rap girls feel like they always have to do choreography in every performance. Sometimes just a fire stage presence, a good setup, and background dances is all you need to get the crowd hyped and engaged. That's what these men do, okay? But of course, I guess the bar is set different for female rappers. Now, moving on, speaking of Saweetie though, Stan Twitter, more so Barty Gang users, felt as if Saweetie was being shady or had some type of issue with Cardi B. Now, as you know, Cardi B was one of the so-called producers for the Bruise soundtrack, and it was an all-female hip-hop artist soundtrack that included people like Saweetie. Now, in her Instagram story, on Saweetie's Instagram story, she thanked Halle Berry, but not Cardi B. And although Cardi did mention Saweetie and Halle Berry on her Twitter in announcing the Bruce soundtrack coming, fans noticed that they noticed Saweetie did not like, retweet, or respond to, this Cardi B tweet, and didn't give her any interaction. So some users felt like Saweetie was paying dust to Cardi, as one user said, Saweetie is definitely being weird towards Cardi, RN. And then another user responded to that and said this. She responded what Halle posted, but didn't even acknowledge what Cardi posted about her. She acting real shady. And then you got another Barty Gang member that asked a question saying, does Saweetie have a problem with Cardi B? So by posting, the two pieces of so-called evidence, and another user said this. It's weird she thinks she better than the other rap girls. She never support other women, especially her peers. Now, do I personally think Saweetie has an issue with Cardi? I don't think it's a real issue. or a problem she has with Cardi. I just think she wants to keep her distance, which that's her business. Now, Cardi is now with Warner, and Saweetie is signed to Warner, and the soundtrack is under Warner. So it's not like Cardi just sought Saweetie out for this. Saweetie was already going to be on the soundtrack because she is a female rap artist under Warner, and she's considered somewhat mainstream. Now, I don't think Cardi and Saweetie are friends because if you pay attention, Saweetie really doesn't choose to interact with Cardi ever since she broke up with Quavo, and Cardi already let it be known that she don't have industry friends. So, but I mean, of course, leave it to Stan Twitter to make these assumptions, but we never know what could have happened behind the scenes. But even if Saweetie didn't publicly thank Cardi, who cares? Like I say, it's not like Cardi reached out to Saweetie to be on the soundtrack. She is already an artist under Warner, so they were going to give her that anyway, okay? So Cardi did not handpick every artist on this album. So y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are down below. Don't forget to give this video that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and lounge with your girl on Instagram and Twitter at Lady J Lounge Room. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll see y'all in the next video, fam.